35. Never speak of this again. Moments. According to Reddit. Number 35. My buddy invited me on a camping hiking trip with his church. I agreed, very avid hiker and outdoorsman, and threw my pack together. We hike our asses up this mountain and set up camp. I brought all my badass toys, got my new Whisper light stove and my new folding camp chair. Guess what I fucking forgot? My goddamn sleeping bag. Fuck. What a noob mistake. I left it in the Jeep at the base of the mountain. My buddy literally helped me lay out our clothes on the floor of the tent, and we slept snuggled up, back to back, of course, covered with his sleeping bag. My friend is a good friend. Back to back. He'd have been an even better friend if y'all was spooning. You know what I'm talking about? You can be the little spoon with your stupid forget sleepy backpack ass. I'd never let you forget it too. I'd be like, nigga, you gay. You know what you want us to do. You want us to snuggle up, snuggle in. Let me begin. As we travel up this list, we reach number 34. In 2003, the Paris Hilton sex tape was released. Oh, monetize this, Captain. My friend and I were both trying without success to download it off of our school network. My friend comes over with his laptop and insists he's found it. It turns out... No. It turns it on. Or else it gets the hose again. What the hell? It turns it on and it turns out to be... Why did he call his friend an it? It turns out to be black transsexual porn. YouTube, I'm reading this. I didn't write it. We watch what seems like forever, but was probably 5 seconds because he closes the window, deletes the file, shuts the screen, and leaves. And to this day, we wonder, did he know what it was? Got him. You know what I'm talking about? Hello to everybody in the stream chat. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Sean Watson was asking, if people were here before the stream even began. Thought I'd try something different by scheduling tonight's stream, but odds are people still couldn't make it in time. Radata says hi. Sarah, Adrian, Emile, Emily Clara, 2 first names. Jen, Faith, Linda, and everybody's here. Lunar Lad. That's what's up. So as we continue up this list of 35 never speak of this again moments, we arrive at number 33. Oh man, I've got a lot of these. Most recently, my third tandem skydive. Tandem skydiving, for those who don't know, is when you're attached to somebody and you're skydiving, not on your own. It's safer that way. You kill yourselves, guys. You just kill yourself. Some of that's what you want, you know what I mean? Some of y'all want that. Anyway, the only one I hadn't had recorded yet. What? Meaning that they recorded the first 2 jumps, but they didn't record this one because I already jumped on that field. Okay. The main chute deployed wrong and had to be cut away. And backup chute was tangled too, but thankfully, the expert was able to untangle it and land us safely. My dad was watching from the ground, but thankfully had no clue how serious the situation was. He had no clue, apparently, Jealous? Well. Rose says, hi, Kyle. What an interesting name for a person I haven't seen in the stream before. Rose. As we continue up this list, not thinking about Doctor Who, we arrive at number 32. My dad found out how to stream videos from his phone to the TV. He's testing it out, and 16-year-old me asks to have a go. I scroll randomly up through all these untitled videos he has on his phone and clicked on one. The dirtiest, filthiest gangbang porn pops up on the TV in front of both of us, and I just hand him the phone and walk out. Never spoke about this since. He probably was expecting like a fist bump or something. Oh, son, you have disappointed. Number 31. I had a situation in 8th grade. There was a stack of papers on a projector. I'm old. For whatever reason, there was a mad dash to get them. Okay. And as I reached for one, I overshot and grabbed a girl's tit. Oh, bring bong. We both looked at each other knowingly and pretended like it never happened. Didn't need to say anything. Wow, so you didn't follow up, huh? That's messed up. We had projectors when I was in 8th grade too. It has nothing to do with my story though. I turned in my homework in the bin and I was so short I turned around to smack my face right into a tall girl's boob. Nice. You know what I mean? Nice. I wonder why people are telling Fat Man to restart YouTube. I hope that whatever problems that he's having sort themselves out. Evan Saladin says, gotta prepare for internet outages. Well, I hope you're not in, like, you know, Texas or something, man. It's getting blasted over there. And Louisiana, too. Someone named That One Anime Weeb says, sorry I spelled your name wrong, Kyle. It's okay. Just take your top off and assume the position. Which is like a waifu pillow position. If you ever seen a girl on a waifu pillow, then that's pretty much what I'm talking about. You know, just like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Something like that. if that pose had a phrase, it would be, oh, you know what I mean? Faith knows what I'm talking about. Faith could probably draw a waifu pillow without even looking at one. Number 30. My dad wanted to show me a video on YouTube. Pulled out his phone, hit the YouTube app, and in the search bar was the phrase huge white ass. Baby. He hurriedly hit the delete button, and I told him next time to just Google the letters P-A-W-G, fat ass white girl. P-A-W-G, we talking fat ass white girl. Let me pull it up in a new tab. I'm just playing, YouTube. See, you thought you was gonna catch my ass. Doesn't matter. The YouTube bots are just, man, they're just demonetizing everything before they even know it. But I exposed my plan earlier to everybody on the channel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a video that's super tame and does nothing and says nothing. Has me speaking in a really lame-ass voice to you. And then I'm going to unlist it, meaning no one will get the chance to see it except for me. And when it inevitably gets tagged, you know, and demonetized, even though like there's gonna be nothing on it, I'm gonna make a video where you're like over my shoulder the way that I'm on the internet right now, and we watch this unlisted video that has been demonetized and then ask ourselves, why is a bot doing this? And then the comedy, of course, guys, is that the only way that it will be eligible for review by an actual human being is if it's received 1,000 views recently. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is, even if, say, I receive 20,000 views on a video immediately, right? Until I hit request review, all of that shit that I just got as far as views are not eligible for any revenue. So it's funny. It's funny, YouTube just trying to swindle some people right now. And the real mystery is why Amazon hasn't hopped its corny ass up and decided to start its own damn streaming service with blackjack and hookers as we continue up the list of 35 never speak of this again moments. YouTube, you're running out of feet to shoot yourself in. We arrive at number 29. Came home drunkenly with roommate. Bing bong. He did the whole naked man thing in the doorway, saying he has been attracted to me, blah, blah. We fool around. I give him hand jabu. He goes limp and I realize he has fallen asleep in my hands. Oh, you fell asleep in my hands tonight. It must have been the drink that took your erection. I don't know. It was so awkward. I went and fell asleep in my own bed in the other room. Woke up, never mentioned it, nothing. He moved out the next week. I still cringe thinking about it. We're still friends though. So you're two men living together. Why is it cringeworthy if you're both gay? Yeah, nigga's gay. All right. Oh, I love you. I'm attracted to you. I'm naked. Give me a hand job. You know what I mean? Like, I swear to God, alcohol is just courage for some of you gay in the closet ass. Sarah DeVera's all like, Kyle, I have something to tell you about my teacher that I used to be with. Tell us about your teacher that you used to be with, Sarah DeVera. My question for Kyle keeps getting pushed up the chat. Rest in peace. As I scroll up the chat to look for Sarah de Vera's thing, she said, Kyle, when are you going to hit us with another spooky list? When somebody starts writing my shit for me, man. You know, I'm perpetually out of content. I thought it was apparent to everybody. But, you know, sometimes Reddit just hits me with that fresh, easily pickable cotton for the slave that Kyle is. You know what I'm talking about? Ooh, somebody's not going to be all right with that. Edgy. Now that's what I call demonetizable. So let's scroll up to number, write a life story while you're at it. Kinda not safe for work. Yep. That's what this channel's all about, I guess. So this happened a couple of years ago. My wife and I were trying to fall asleep, but we had an early morning trip to Universal Studios, and we were a little too jazzed. Jazz hands. You gotta shake your hands. We're annual pass holders. Wow. And local, but we hadn't been in a while because of the heat and the crowds. So my wife suggests doing it. Thinking it would help us fall asleep better, we turn our TV on and turn the volume up just enough to mask any sounds we make, and we're doing our thing. And soon, we can hear my wife's mom, who lives with us and is down the hall, up and moving around. We stop and kind of wait for her to go back to her room because we figure she's just going to the bathroom. We don't hear anything, so we go back to her, and my wife says she wants it in a place a little lower. I'll allow it. So she gets on all fours, and I just barely get it in. And she's got her back arched and her head thrown back, and I hear the door fly open, and I look back to see our 6-year-old daughter and my mother-in-law standing in the doorway. I slide it out and quickly cover myself, and my wife does the same thing, and my daughter, who has absolutely no idea what we were doing, cheerfully walks in her blanket and stuffed an animal and says, I had a bad dream, Dad. His bad dream. Y'all butt fucking in here. And proceeds to get in the bed between us. And my mother-in-law, who has to know what we were doing, makes no attempt to keep my daughter from coming in and just says, I'm sorry. And make some excuse about hearing the TV on and thought we were awake and we'd be able to accommodate her. She very quickly closes the door and heads back to her room, leaving the two of us unsatisfied. As if Grandma was supposed to do something about it. And with an awake child at 2:30 in the morning, my wife, who is a huge prude around her mom, says, we will never talk of this again. I agree, but I say, at least she knows we still do it. Why the hell wouldn't you? Because she was under the impression that when my wife came out as bi, it meant that we can't have sex for some reason, and she would never get another grandchild. That turned into a full-on fan fiction in the middle of this damn list. So, you know, how can I even fight this demonetization at this point? You know what I mean? I get into the list and it's just like, so I'm on all fours and I'm getting in there. And she's all like, no, I don't want it there. I want it somewhere dirty or somewhere stanky. And I'm like, what the fuck am I reading, dude? What am I reading? Oh, I'm dead. Oh, as we travel up the list of 35 never speak of this again moments. Can you keep it PG? Oh my God, it's another biography here. My dad kept a huge suitcase full of porn stashed in the basement of my childhood home. Good grief. I used to sneak down there and watch some memorable titles such as Interview with the Milkman and Buttman's European Vacation. Really. Several years into my secret viewings, my parents put the house up for sale. They took my younger siblings with them on a car trip up north for the weekend in the city that they wanted to move to. I stayed home and proceeded to have a party one night, inviting a bunch of my friends. We trashed the house, drank a bunch of beer, and of course, watched all of my dad's porn. Fast forward a few months later, we sell the house, and in the process of packing, I get home from school one afternoon and my father is standing in the driveway with his most terrifying angry dad face. My dad is 6'4", 250 pounds, tattoos, former correctional officer in a maximum security prison. I walk up to him and he says,
Why are you
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway, the dad says, I'm sorry. I really was slapping the arm of my chair just now. I give myself the giggles because I'm hilarious to me. Anyway, the dad says, why are you snooping through my shit in the basement? And I reply, what? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Dad. Dad, I wasn't even there, okay? I wasn't even there, Dad. He says, bullshit. These videotapes, some of them aren't even mine, and I have to give them back to someone who let me borrow them. There's some missing. Go down the street and tell your fucking stoner friend to give them back. I bet he stole them. Do it or I'll tell your mother what I found in your room. What do you mean you found in my room? He holds up a Zippo collection. They're just lighters, Dad. A glass bowl. I just like glass bowls, Dad. And various sleeping pills and caffeine pills I take. Well, nigga, you on your own there. My dad was blackmailing his 14-year-old son to return his porn. You should have just been like, Dad, you know what you're doing, right, Dad? You know what I got on you, right, Dad? I've been recording this whole conversation, Dad. You're gonna blackmail your son, Dad? I got on my bike, rode down the block to my friend's, knocked on his door and asked for my dad's porn back. He sighed and reluctantly gave me several VHS tapes he swiped from the party that night. I rode back to my house, and in the driveway in broad daylight, my 14-year-old self handed my father back his porn. It was never spoken about or hinted at Eve ever again, and I'd like to think that my dad and I came to an understanding of each other better that day. Your dad's an asshole. How about that? And, you know, he never got all of that authority that he probably loved abusing as a correctional officer in a security maximum prison. You know what I'm talking about? Bing bong. Hope everybody in the stream is having a good time. Hope everybody had a great day. I hope you have a great evening, great afternoon, and great night. And I hope that it only gets better from where you're going. Did Sarah DeVera talk about her teacher that she, you know, gave him all her titties and stuff?
No.
I can't believe she won't talk about it. I can't believe that. As we scroll up this list, thank you, Faith. You're an angel, Faith. We arrive at number 26. One night when I was in college, I was really drunk and hungry, but every place that delivered food was closed because it was like 4 a.m. Then I remember that there was a McDonald's like 2 to 3 miles from campus that I could walk to. I checked the website and it said it was open 24 hours, so I started to make my way. As I got close to the student center on the edge of the campus, I started second guessing whether or not the McDonald's was open 24/7 or not, so I decided to pop into the computer lab in the basement of the center, which was always open, to go online and check again. The lights were off in the lab, so I thought that I'd be the only person there, but when I entered the room and the lights came on, I saw a security guard sitting at one of the computers. He's startled by me and scrambles to close the window he was looking at, which I could already tell was Pornhub. I didn't know how to react. Yeah, clearly. So I just sat down at a computer and didn't say a word. He breaks the awkward silence by getting up and saying, "Well, it's about that time." I would have liked if he said, "Well, it's about time to hit the old dusty trail," and then making his way to the door. I still don't know what exactly he meant by that, but my response was just to nod and say, "Yup." The guard and I crossed paths quite a bit after that, and it was always a little awkward, but at the same time, we had like this unspoken agreement about that night, and he would always be nicer to me and let me off when others would have written me up for something I did. What a wonderful story. What a wonderful story. Wow. How about that? Number 25. I almost died. All right? I asked the person that saved me not to tell anyone, especially my wife and family, because they would freak out. I almost died. Elaborate, guy. Somebody's like, "Shit, are you okay now?" He's like, "Yeah, fine, no worries." Somebody's like, "Can you tell us what happened? Like, did you have a heart attack?" He said, "Bad ladder scaffolding, falling from the 5th floor to the concrete. Someone grabbed a power cord that was attached to me, and it was enough to slow my fall. Oh, shit." Up butt coconut, you know what I mean? Up his butt with a cocoa nut. Tia Sandy's all like, "Kyle,
I used to work in behavioral health and had just finished an appointment with my mom and her son.
I don't know why she's sexy in what I'm reading. Anyway, she says, before I leave, the mom starts thanking me and leans in to kiss me on the lips. Because her kiss was on your lips. Because your kiss, she didn't think you'd resist. Because your kiss was on your lips. After therapy time. Well, she was in a... I'm sorry. Let me... Man, what? Oh, SHA, says Michael Davis. Here we go. Oh, my God. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for even, arriving. It's about that time, though. It's about that time. Yeah, that's going to be the new one. Number 24. I walked in on my best friend and his sister's girlfriend fucking the wild animals. No, fucking like wild animals. That's better.
Okay.
That's better.
Better.
That's better. God damn it. I walked in on my best friend and his sister's girlfriend. Wubber ducky guy, this motherfucker. To be honest, I like to think that if you were trying to, be wubber and... Oh my God, Couture, sweetie, I love you. Reach out to me. I don't like not being able to even grasp you in any way. You're just an entity. How enigmatic. Women aren't supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be dudes that are all like, I'm Tuxedo Mask. I don't even know your name. And then he's all like, you know what I mean? He flies away and stuff. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Couture. You're wonderful. And I really appreciate that. Let me see if I can be the first one to get this guy. Yes. Got him. I got him, baby. It was me, right?
Yeah, it was you.
That was awesome that I saw him so fast. I really appreciate being able to see him that fast. I'm the best.
I'm proud of you.
I wish I could put him on timeout, even though I already, banned him. Yeah.
Unban him, then put him on timeout.
Well, I can unban him and then put him on timeout. Wonderful. Yeah, even I wouldn't do that. Look. Number 24. I walked in on my best friend and his sister's girlfriend fucking like wild animals. I blurted out, "Oh, you are bi," and left the room. We had a beer later. They are married now. My best friend and the sister's ex-girlfriend. His sister found greener pastures elsewhere. What an interesting way to put things. Sarah, you better tell us about that teacher you banged. Damn it. Tired of this. Anyway, Legendary says, listen, I almost forgot what I was trying to say about that Wubber guy. Wubber, if you were trying to replace the the R with a W in Wubber Duck, it would be W-U-B-B-E-R, not Woober, which is how I'm pronouncing W-U-B-E-R, which is what I saw. So I know that guy isn't watching this video right now. There's like thousands of videos on this channel, all of which that have been demonetized. So whatever. Thanks to Couture for making it so that I'm making something. I feel like something's in my eye. Fuck you. Okay. And as whatever was in my eye is relieved of its duty, so also is my professional, Oh, wait. Evan Saladin says, throw his ass in gay baby jail. He in gay baby prison. Ain't no getting out now. You're going to have to make a new identity. You know what I'm talking about? Gay baby jail is something that some people can handle. Sarah says, boy, I'd write a Reddit story, but I don't know where to put it. If there is a thread, link me, Kyle. Oh, my God. Or I could email it. It was horrible. How was it horrible, Sarah? You wanted it. Did his titties not end up in your... I mean, did your titties not end up... Well, could be both ways. You never know how gangster it got. Here's what I'm saying. Did your... Oh, whoa. I can't talk about this because Reddit. Not Reddit. YouTube. Yeah, happy day, YouTube. But either way, you know that your stuff ended up in his mouth. So tell everybody what's going on. Somebody says happy early birthday to Zane. Who the hell is Zane?
Zane said tomorrow's their birthday.
Oh.
At some point.
Well, Zane, I believe in you. Just like I believe in this list. And I believe in Couture. That sexy, curvy mother. As we travel up to 35, never speak of this moment again. We arrive at number 23. So, my best guy friend and I both went through a really bad Beyblade, let it rip, breakup around the same time that, no, around the same time. Oh, so they were both in two separate relationships and they went through a bad breakup at the same time. That New Year's Eve, we got really drunk and attempted to have sex. Damn, it was that drunk where sex is an attempt. We stopped after a few minutes, looked at each other, bursted out laughing, and agreed we would never speak of it again. It's been 6 years. He's happily married with a baby boy. We still get together to catch up every couple of months. Have never spoken of the incident again. I just can't imagine trying to have sex, you know, and like not succeeding. There are so few times that, like, you know, I want to say it takes a very specific type of woman to get Kyle bing bonging. And when the time strikes, you know what I'm talking about, it is really just like Excalibur, you know, it's like a Voltron type. You know how like the what is it? I would call it like a glint travels up. Okay, I'll stop. But you know what I'm talking about. Number 22. Okay, man, this is another autobiography hitting me hard, hitting me fast, hitting me in the face, just like my Excalibur would destroy your face. Okay, what am I talking about? Did Sarah tell us about the thing? Yeah, Sarah's saying that she was 18 and young and she just wanted his juicy bing bong. She says we hooked up after I graduated and I could... What? I guess it counts, dude. It counts, dude. It counts because when any student is with a teacher, okay, they're supposed to, it's like, it's not a relationship. It is not a scenario in which the teacher should be abusing it in a way where they're getting close to these kids in anything other than a professional way. Because I can literally get up and teach a whole bunch of kids and they can be attracted to me as a person in a position of authority with you. And as we spoke about before, kids with no daddies, you know what I mean? Especially girls, they look at a lot of these dudes as filling a hole, no pun intended, that is straight up not there. So without much effort, a lot of these dudes in their life can straight up slide into a position, forgive the wording, that they didn't really earn, that the girls are almost willingly giving up to these people. Thank you for the subscription, Anthony, you stupid and here's the thing about the guys. A lot of them are just really about that shit with the girls, and the girls can't help but kind of just gravitate to them. It's really rude for them to abuse that, regardless of it's in the context of, you know, when they're still being taught or after. They're taking advantage of something that should be, is again spelled properly? Yes, right? AGAIN. Something about the way I'm looking at again looks wrong.
It looks funny because it's in all caps, I guess. I don't know.
Why is it looking funny because it's in all caps?
I don't know, it does look funny.
It's kind of like when words you say them too many times, they just lose all meaning. Looking at the word again right now, that shit looks wrong as a motherfucker. Oh yeah, let me take this down. Guys, remember when we were reading a list about the 35 never speak of this moments? I didn't include again because it seems like it doesn't belong. We travel up to number 22. Buckle up. My now ex-husband had to have thyroid surgery a few years ago. Oh, is he dead? He was having a lot of swelling, so they gave him some Percocet, Molly Percocet to take. Anyone who had taken Percocet before knows that it might work very well, but it's not without side effects. One of those side effects happens to be constipation. Oh no, I didn't know that. Not that I take it. We knew this would happen. My husband and I are both doctors. Or your husband and you were both doctors. I urged him to keep eating fiber or taking a stool softener or something. He laughed it off. Babe, my bowels are amazing. Nothing's going to happen to me. He did not die on the toilet, man. He did not die on the toilet. How is this a never speak of this again moment? Days passed and he continued to heal, requiring less and less medication. I noticed his appetite hadn't picked up much, but I thought, cut him a break. He just had surgery. That night, I found him on the couch clutching his stomach and scowling. I immediately knew what was up and said as gently as I could, "Now will you take the stool softener?" He relented. Hours passed. Stool softeners don't work instantly, and they were up against days of hardened poo. Hardened poo inside you. Doctor no, doctor can't go to the bathroom. My husband began pacing and sweating. He has a pretty high pain tolerance, and I began to feel alarmed. We massaged his poor, distended tummy, and you could literally feel the lumps of hard poo. He's a pretty thin guy, not much subcutaneous.
Subcutaneous.
Subcutaneous?
Yes.
Well, I guess that's the word of the day. Subcutaneous.
Subcutaneous.
Who the fuck is this bitch? I'm used to a man reading me the dictionary. How am I supposed to get my erect All right, let me stop. Subcutaneous fat. After hours of stool softeners, tummy rubbing, and fluids, he started to really sweat. Booty sweat. Now I was really worried. Had he perforated? You know what I'm talking about? Suddenly, he leaped up, ran to the bathroom, and slammed the door. I sat outside waiting for a noise, a fart, a wail, something. Finally, I heard him sob my name. I walked in, and my cool, aloof husband was bawling his eyes out, sitting on the toilet and pushing on his stomach like an uncomfortable little kid. He turned green, and I immediately recognized that face. I had just enough time to grab a trash can to catch the vomit that came streaming out seconds before an enormous shart and a huge blast of diarrhea turd chunks. There was my surgeon husband, crying, barfing, shitting, and hanging onto my arm for dear life. It was so painful to watch, and to this day, he says it's the only time he's truly been 10 out of 10 in pain. Would Molly Percocet again? Percocet, sorry. Yeah, we didn't really talk about that after that day that much, though he never did disrespect the constipating powers of narcotics from that day forward. Let it be a cautionary tale to all of you. Mask Man says hi, Kyle. Like a constipation up my ass. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You guys are great. Marina's all like,
I guess I won't be eating while listening to this stream, huh?
depends what you're into, man. Depends what you're into. I'm sure it just made some people hungry. You know what I mean? Different strokes it takes. Different strokes it takes. Let me massage your stomach, girl. I know you have a little trouble using that bathroom. We gotta massage out that hard poo. Number 21. I was 6, and we were moving. There was an electrical socket I had never seen before. I had a paperclip. Looked like it fit right in. And it did. I had a shock in my whole hand. What the hell? But fortunately, dropped the paperclip. He said paperclip. I dropped the paperclip out of the light socket quickly enough so that nothing else happened. Cool, I could do it again. I went upstairs and told my mom that my hand felt funny after I'd stuck a paperclip in the socket. She told me never to tell my dad because it had upset him to think that I could have been killed due to my own stupidity without his being there to protect me. I'm an only child, was a sickly baby, and I'm still a daddy's girl. Thanks to that. It's been 30 years, and I still haven't told him. You better be a hot bitch, hopefully, that somebody's just going to be able to hold open every door for and protect you from the dangers of life. You sticking a paperclip in a light socket. Guys, the only reason you should be sticking a paperclip in a light socket is if you want results. You know what I'm talking about? I'm kidding. The Kyle channel does not condone acts of suicide that aren't painless. Contrary to that song, not every type of suicide is painless, but it does bring on many changes. And I can take or leave it if I please. Sarah on her knees for her old teacher. Sarah says, me too. I should be studying, but Kyle is a priority, not like her teacher was. Someday Kyle's gonna be a priority, like Sarah's teacher was for everybody. Huh, Hannah? Huh, Hannah? Hannah, no? Hannah? You okay? What's wrong? Come here. You okay?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. Finish your list. I promise. Nothing's wrong.
Oh, I am in trouble. Who knows what I did
I'm mad at you.
that upset Hannah?
You did not upset me.
Oh, shit, dude. I need to get through this list, dude.
Oh my god. I'm not upset.
Oh, boy. I try to take it so easy, and all I do is upset people. So here we are on number 20. My brother-in-law and sister went into my dad's house to pick something up or something, and they went into the bathroom on the first night. On the nightstand, there was a vibrator, a cock ring, and lube. He had a new girlfriend. This whole list is just going to be this, isn't it? So we travel up this list of 35 never speak of this again moments. We arrive at number 19. A friend and I got super high in his garage. We started talking about previous sexual conquests, and we realized we each had an experience with our cousins early in our life. We looked at each other, finished our session, and promptly agreed that that was a secret we took to our grave. Number 18. My now ex-wife once shit in her hand while we were driving down the interstate because it was too far to the closest bathroom. All right, man. Schwans Gruberman, thank you for the Australian $2, but I think you already know, mate. The super chat. You are just giving Google the money. And, I wouldn't have a problem with it if Google was deserving of it, dude. But Google is single-handedly destroying so many channels that don't have a way. Willies, for people who don't know, is another term for the male genitalia. So as we travel up this list, we reach number 17. Okay, so I was dating this girl and she was at my place. I was 20, she was 18. Blonde but average weight, and like me, a complete nerd. Anyway, we were having sex, and I had no condom, so I did the old pull-out method. I didn't wait until I was on the edge, just until I felt it tingle. I'd pull out and jack it into a cup. It was a Tim Hortons cup, with some old coffee, maybe 1/4 of the way still full. Anyway, later that night, my parents surprised us with more coffee, which we drank. I then placed the cup down and we watched TV. Well, I placed the new cup beside the cum cup. Still watching TV, I'd grabbed the cum cup and drank from it. I was mortified when the cold old coffee touched my lips. She saw this and clued in what had happened. Then said it was good to know I swallow. So yeah, I drank my own cum spiked coffee. Okay. Well, number 16. My college roommate and I were in Italy, and we were lost at a small town train station where there's no English and no one spoke English at all. Okay. The way the train station is, Duck just subscribed. The way the train station is set up is that we have to take stairs underground and take stairs back up to the cross platform. Okay. We were trying to figure out which train to take and ended up going back and forth since we barely understood any Italian. After a few trips going up and down, we decided to just cross back and forth across the tracks. This is way before smartphones, so we were in the middle of the tracks while I used a So we were in the middle of the tracks when I used a compass to figure out which direction Florence was. Then we realized it was noisier than usual. I looked up and saw a train coming. In panic, we ran in front of the train to the platform across instead of backwards to safety. Realized we nearly won the Darwin Award. We agreed not to tell anyone about how dumb we were. Number 15. When I was around 12 years old, my family was on a vacation somewhere. Sleeping arrangements, me and my mom on one bed, brother and dad on the other. Except my dad had this fucking annoying habit of getting in a bed and cuddling with my mom in the morning. Ew. Anyways, one night, I had a very vivid dream. I dreamt that my period started and blood was gushing. Like, holy fuck, there was so much blood, you guys. And in the dream, I was running to the toilet to try to contain the blood. Plot twist. Piss dream got the best of me. I woke up a few minutes later soaked in piss, and I'm pretty sure my mom and dad felt it too, and my pajamas stank like piss for the rest of the trip. No one said anything about it. Number 14. My friend's very gay father tried to get me to have sex with him when he was drunk. His boyfriend walked in and set him straight. But we all agreed it was best to never speak of it again to anyone. Their relationship struggled for a fair bit after that, but they seem to be all right now. Number 13. A close friend and I had just gone through breakups and were drinking a lot that week out of depression. One night we ended up cuddling to a movie. Things got intimate. Hot, passionate, messy sex ensues all over a suede couch. We awoke in the morning and without speaking grabbed cleaning supplies, scrubbed the hell out of the couch, then clothed ourselves and went to work. Since then we had a laugh about it, but we agreed never to bring it up again. We remained great friends. Number 12. Walked in on the future mother-in-law while she was on the toilet taking a dump. She did attempt to address it shortly afterward, but I managed to shit down, and we have never spoken of it since, because that's how we do things in Britain. Number 11. My roommate's younger brother was visiting from across the country recently. I left for a long weekend and came back more than a little sexually frustrated. It wasn't home, and I foolishly assumed that he was with her doing some sightseeing or tourist bullshit people do when they travel. Nope, he was asleep upstairs directly above my bed. Where was I? Furiously masturbating loudly for 2 entire hours. My poor roommate's brother woke up maybe 15 minutes into me doing that and told me later he had got to hear the whole show. Number 11. Number 10. Here's a recent. My buddies and I actually voiced the phrase, "We can never tell this story," in the truck afterwards. Road trip with 2 buddies, Cal and Joel. Driving home late night, we're in the mindset that we're tired of sitting in the truck and ready to be home, so we drove through the night to get the miles behind us. Finally, about 3 a.m., we pull off of the highway onto a forest road and drive until we see a spot to camp. Decent grassy clearing, looking like someone has the same idea that we were having here before. We pile out and grab our tents and start setting up. Joel is tired and quiet. Cal has the inhuman ability of speaking in a continuous run-on sentence for hours. Doesn't matter what time. Wake him up at 4 a.m. from a dead sleep, and he'll start telling you a story before his feet hit the ground. He's funny too, so it keeps the road trip interesting. So, set up camp. Cal is deep in a half story, half rhetorical essay when he stops, cold. I look over his way, shining my headlamp on him. His lamp trails off into the trees. Are those eyes? I look where he's looking and stare for a good while. Might just be dew on the leaves or a marker on the trees. Wouldn't be surprised if the road is used for motorcycle races. We stare a while longer. Neither of us can relax. Finally, I grab a shovel and start walking towards the little glowing beads. Neither of us were going to sleep without resolution. Fuck guys, go to bed, Joel announces with confidence. There's no predators in this area. There are. I've seen both bears and cougars in the area. Joel isn't from the area. Cal and I continue on. I cover about half of the ground between me and the orbs, and I pause. It's so dark and they're so far away I can't quite make out if they're moving slightly or if it's just the shadows cast from my headlamp. I throw a rock. I yell. I pause. They blink. Okay. Yep, it's an animal and it's not scaring with rocks. I say towards Cal, slowly walking backward. It clearly sees us. It's watching me. Cal agrees. Let's just watch it for a while. We finish setting up our tents, keeping a light on the creature at all times. Finally, it starts to move. The two little orbs raise a few inches off the ground and start strafing us, rocking ever so slightly back and forth as they stare a wide circle skirting our campsite. A slight pause here and there, but they continue to close in even as we unleash a thunderstorm of rocks and yelling and quickly sidestep towards the truck. Joel, whatever it is moving our way. Keep a light on it. Keep a light on it. Joel yells and fumbles with the tent zipper. He's already taken his pants off and comes booking towards the truck, emanating his own light from his pasty white thighs. He gets inside and sits in the back. Cal and I are perched on either side of the truck, ready to jump inside so fast we're bound to knock heads over. The gear shift. The creature is behind a bush about 20 feet from the truck at this point. The leaves are shifting slightly. It's still coming. Cal and I share a couple of words of encouragement, waiting, and the bushes part. When the claw sunk into Cal's neck, he screamed, and I dove over the cab. Just kidding. The bushes part, and a fucking deer walks out and right up to the truck. Turns out, people did camp here before, and apparently they fed the fucking deer. Whatever survival instincts once was in the long-legged forest rodent was long gone, and we were 3 men in their jammies crouching in a truck hiding from a deer. Full disclosure, I've actually told this story a few other times. Number 9. Growing up, we were poor, and as a teen, I didn't really have access to porn or whatnot, but I was quite a writer, so I would write exotic fiction as a release in Spiral. Well, one day after writing a particularly sordid story, I kinda came to and realized I shouldn't leave this stuff around. I went to the kitchen intending to throw the Spiral away, set it down, got a drink, the phone rang, I answered, and left the Spiral in the kitchen forgotten. An hour later, my mother comes to me with the Spiral and questions. I won't get into it, but she described how a lot of my stories wouldn't really ever happen and were a bit extreme. She threw it away and it never came back up. Number 8. Roommate told me to text him when I got home so we could smoke a cigarette. I thought, that's fucking dumb. He'll be able to clearly hear me coming home. So I knock on his bedroom door and waltzed in, only to see him taking a dick pic or masturbating. I'm still not sure which. He jolted up and said something along the lines of, "Whoa, hey," and I just said, hi, and that's we went outside and smoked a cigarette. Number 7. I was drinking vodka and I heard this guy, pal, that I was trying to bang. But he refused to bang a drunk girl while he was sober. I grabbed my phone and started looking for some action. No such luck. I eventually passed out and went to sleep. When I woke up the next morning, I read texts I'd sent in absolute horror. Me, what are you doing? Guy, getting ready for bed. You? Me, drunk, topless, and looking for some fun. Guy, LOL, good luck, I'm going to bed. G happened to be my boss, who just started a few weeks ago. At the time, Facebook would merge your friends' contacts into your address book. I never spoke of it again and had a difficult time looking him in the eye. Number 6. Oh God, when I was 9, I had a friend, Donna. Donna was a little more mature than I was. She brought up sex. The only thing I knew about sex was that it was bad because of an abstinence-only billboard that was up in my grandma's house. Guess what part of America I live in? I told her that it was bad, and she said, "It's how you make babies, stupid." So naturally, she proposes we have sex. We were in our underwear and t-shirts. She leaned in to kiss me, and I pulled away. Nothing of any sexual nature happened, but she said that was it. We had sex. So I feared for weeks that I was pregnant, and woke up in the middle of the night sobbing to my mom that I was pregnant and I had sex with Donna. She explains that's not how any of that worked. My mom and I have never mentioned it again in the past 11 years since. Number 5. Not so much we never spoke of it again, but I've never spoken of it. In college, I skipped the day to play some Call of Duty, got bored, and decided to take matters into my own hands. My dorm room was on the top floor, the 4th floor, and the windows blinds were open. As I was furiously taking out my frustrations, a window washer came up to the window on a suspended scaffolding. We locked eyes for a second, and he left my window unwashed and slowly went back down. Number 4. Walked in on a close family member masturbating in the living room. They saw that I saw, immediately left to deal with something else, came back and asked how their day had been. They said, good, thanks. Great. Number 3. Oh my God. Years ago, my girlfriend and I snuck off to a bathroom to fuck after everyone passed out at a house party. A house party. We were young, she was fun, and she wanted it in her butt. You got it, champ. I was sitting on the closed toilet, and she was basically doing the stand-up reverse cowgirl thing. Felt great. At some point, one of our drunk friends woke up to piss and came bursting into the bathroom to take a piss. She jumps up in shock, causing an extremely fast and unexpected pull-out, poop everywhere. The next morning, the same drunk friend comes stumbling out of the bathroom after having passed out from his drunken midnight piss. Guys, I got really drunk last night and I think I may have shit on the floor in the bathroom. Damn right you did. Apology accepted. Go clean that up. Number 2. So, I am in high school and I got trashed at a party. Somehow, I made it home. In the middle of the night, I drunkenly wander into my parents' bedroom, sit on my dad's hamper, and take a good long piss. My dad woke up in the middle of it and pushed me back into my room. I wake up in the morning to go to the living room and see Dad. He starts cracking up and told me what happened, says he won't tell anyone, and to go upstairs and clean out his hamper. Ended up having to buy him a new hamper. My mom never said anything about it, so I have no idea if she knew. My dad passed away about 10 years ago. Since that time, my mom told me a story about Dad getting drunk one night shortly after they were married, and she woke up in the middle of the night to see him peeing in his hamper. Apparently, I am totally my father's daughter and have still never told anyone about it. Number 1. I was on a road trip with a buddy. We were heading to a 3-day music festival in Tennessee. We drove through the night and were making good time. He was drinking and asked me to take the wheel for a second. So I did. He grabbed a Gatorade bottle, unzipped, and started pissing in the bottle. I was a bit uncomfortable with my hands 6 inches above his exposed dick, but we were going 75 miles per hour and his foot was on the gas. We had more pressing concerns, is my point. He finishes up and in one swift motion rolls down the window and lifts the Gatorade bottle towards the window to dump it. Wait, what are you? Imagine a full bottle of warm piss filling up the entire interior of a car like a fine aerosol spray in a split second. That's what 75 mile per hour wind inward does to a bottle of liquid trying to go outward. I learned that the hard way. Of course it got in my mouth. But that wasn't the worst of it. It was clogging my ears like I had been swimming. It was stinging my eyes. It went so far up my nose that I sneezed it out twice. We looked at each other dripping piss, and all I could say was, damn. God damn it, dude. He turned on the AC after a time. Piss droplets blew out onto us. It was dripping on us from the ceiling of the car. We rode for a long time in silence. Do you know what a person and the interior of a car covered in piss smells like after being in 103-degree heat for 3 days and no means to wash up? I do. I do. Special thanks to the patrons for making this happen. Special thanks to Couture for her donation tonight. I will see you guys later. Bye.